may know me by my pen name, which is M. Zachary Johnson. If you're called Matt Johnson, you have to distinguish yourself because everybody in the world has the same name. So that's why. I would like to talk to you briefly about this is my second book. My first book was Dancing with the Muses, which has 5 stars on Amazon. And this book also has 5 stars on Amazon. And I have one coming out that I'll tell you about in a minute, which is going to be out next month. So this book is called Emotion in Life and Music. And this came out last year and was the #1 hot new release in aesthetics on Amazon. And when the book was climbing up to the first place slot in the bestsellers, I noticed that my primary competitor was Aristotle's Rhetoric. So I was pretty pleased with the competition. So the book addresses this mysterious and ages-old question of what does it mean for music to be emotional? In academic circles today, that question is not even really considered or allowed. It's considered an inappropriate question. It's thought to be unscientific, as not grounded, not something that is credible. It's thought to be something that it's like an old wives' tale that people disproved a long time ago, so we should just set it aside. And we all know that music is architecture of tones. It's a play of forms, which is part of the story, but not the whole story. And so academia has this chronic problem of leaving emotion out of the picture completely. And then unfortunately, on the other hand of things, the general public is left flailing with the remainder of humanity, which is when you take away the you could call it the cerebral aspects of things, you become a wild animal. And so then you have music for primal impulse, and the possibility of music for the whole person, mind, spirit, body, is not a known possibility. However, it's something that was known. It was always associated with religion, generally speaking, but it was known. Plato and Aristotle both had strong views on the moral influence of music and thought it was important what kind of music was used in education. And Confucius had very good ideas, very briefly stated, but very good ideas about the importance of harmony of the spirit, of a coming together of elements inside of a person. The same thing is true in almost every world religion. Christianity has the idea of the harmony of the spirit, which is connected to God in one way. But all world religions, or almost all of them, have this idea of some kind of cathartic harmony or coming together, which is the complete opposite of chaotic flailing and energy going everywhere, right? It's not just sexual impulse, it's the whole person merging into one harmonious being. So this is the kind of idea that I wanted to revive, but also to provide with some substance that is quantitative in basis, so that it's not purely a floating religious abstraction like a God-oriented type of idea, but is something that is tied to sensory experience. And so I have what I call the concept of the psychological signature of an emotion, which is a distinctive set of quantitative characteristics of what's happening in your head. So a racing mind is one aspect. That's a pace issue. Intensity. Some emotions are strong and some are gentle. Serenity is a gentle emotion. And then there's the aspect of whether an emotion is bright or dark. And so this unique configuration defines each distinctive emotion, so that joy is bright and medium to fast and medium to high intensity. Anger is fast and dark and strong. And each of the emotions, serenity, is bright and slow and low intensity. And there are musical correlates for each one of these aspects of the psychological signature. There's tempo in music, which is measurable by beats per minute, and then you can measure all the divisions of notes over time. Intensity, the simplest aspect of intensity is loudness, but there are other aspects too, like the build-up over time. That's an accumulation of experience that affects intensity. And then bright or dark has to do with the relationships of the pitches one to another, which are summarized in the scale. So there's very simple generalization about the major scale being bright, the minor scale being dark, and that's a good basic idea, but there are other examples too. The blues scale has the bluesy quality because of the configuration of notes in the scale, because of the way it mixes the bright and dark notes. And so it's true of all music and of all forms of scale. And so this is a universal theory of music in terms of explaining the emotional content and providing the vocabulary, but it's also one that provides a standard of value that I consider to be a humanistic standard of value. Sounds a lot like the traditional religious standards of what's ideal in music, but that's a way of defining a a positive value principle for music, and also grounding it so that it's not a dogma from a higher authority. It's something that you can know by experience and something that you can talk to people about and have some basis for settling disagreements. Well, this song doesn't seem very fast to me. Well, let's compare it to this other song. Let's measure the beats per minute. And let's get some knowledge about this that's not just a matter of opinion.